You know that cybersecurity is extremely important, but did you ever consider a career in it? Well, the amazing woman you are about to meet decided when the whole Y2K fear happened a while ago at 1999 when we were turning into 2000 and everybody was so afraid. That inspired her to embark on a career in cybersecurity. But guess what? She's a woman and she's a Black woman, and she decided there were no role models for her to emulate in the field. She decided to be that role model for you and for anybody who reads the book that she wrote about this topic. Welcome to Boss Up Goddess. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I interview trailblazing women who help us all live bigger, better, and bolder. The woman who's doing that, I want you to meet Sakinah Tanzil. Welcome, Sakinah.
Hello, everybody.
I love your story. Can you talk, Sakinah, about how you, during the whole Y2K thing, explain what that is for the younger viewers, please, and how it inspired you to embark on this amazing mission?
Yes, I was in high school and I always loved learning. So I was watching the news and it was the late 90s and everybody was talking about the Y2K problem, where the year 2000 was coming and the year was set in only 2 digits and it needed to be 4 digits like 2000 or all the computers were going to shut down. And I was like, wow, this sounds exciting. I feel like it's my call of duty. How can I help? So I researched schools and I found Henry Ford Community College and I enrolled in their computer information system program. And then I just immersed myself and I wrote a paper on Bill Gates and I found out how software helps with healthcare outcomes, aviation. And then I was like, I'm on the right track. So that's what inspired me, his story, software, and the Y2K problem. And I said, this is right. This is the right field to be in.
I love it. But when you decided that, you noticed a complete void of diversity in the field. Can you talk about that?
Yes, there was only 2 African Americans in my program, and that was me and another male. And so it was just so devastating because I didn't see anybody that looked like me. And I was like really struggling and needed that mentoring and that coaching. And there was nobody out there that can help me. But me and the African American male, we stuck together and we helped each other out and we got through the program, but we needed to stick together because there wasn't a lot of people like us.
Wow. But your hard work and perseverance paid off because you embarked on a wonderful career. Can you talk about some of the work that you've done as a cybersecurity expert, Sakinah?
Yes. Well, I'm passionate about healthcare. So I worked on the Affordable Care Act with President Obama in 2010. And then I knew that was the field that the industry that I wanted to focus on. So I worked on that law and that got passed in 2010. I went and worked for a healthcare system that was nationally recognized and helped integrate their healthcare system and their plan. And so I knew I was on the right track, but I didn't find the mentors or the coaches. And I said, well, it's such a void. How can I be that person that brings the next generation up? So I said, well, maybe I should write my story. Maybe I should just, get it down on paper and be that career guide for the future because there's a shortage. We need 3.5 million people to fill the worldwide gap. And how are we going to do that if people are not able to break into the field?
Wait, there's a need for 3.5 million people to work in the cybersecurity field?
Yes, worldwide. Yes, and there's openings every day, and it's hard to break into the field. And I wrote this book so someone can pick it up. There's 300 scholarships in there. You have no excuse. You can go to college for free. I talk about all the 52 roles in cybersecurity with the job descriptions, what certifications you need, all that. It's all there.
Wow. Okay. So it's breaking the cyber code, a game changer that prepares our workforce and secures the future.
Yes, it's the solution to the 3.5 million cybersecurity shortage. This is the problem solver for that. That's why I wrote it.
It also helps to diversify the field because you said there is
3% of African Americans in the field. And we're 12% of the population. So if we just increase that, we can fill the gap in the United States today.
Wow, excuse me, allergies. That's amazing. So 3% of all the people in the field are African American. What's the percentage of women?
Well, it gets even smaller than that. It's like it's 3% of African American, but we as people of color, it's like Asian people and Native Americans that are needed in the field. I'm writing this book for anybody that's a person of color because that exact shortage that we have, people of color can fill those roles, but they don't see people that look like me that can help them. And so they don't think they can break into this field. And I'm here to tell you, I wrote this book so this can be the problem solver. So you have everything you need so you can break into the field. All you need is a minimum of an associate's degree. You can volunteer for an organization to get your experience and get a minimal foundational certification, and you can break into the field. These jobs are life changing. You can start out with $75,000 a year, and that can change somebody's life.
Wow, with an associate's degree.
Yes, yes. And some people are limiting the requirements because they just need to fill the role. So you may even luck up without the college degree. I just recommend that you get it because I just think that'll solidify you and you'll have more opportunities to make the extra money.
Wow, Sakinah. So in addition to the book, do you offer any kind of consulting or coaching services to guide people through and be that mentor that you didn't have?
Yes, in 2018, I started my own coaching business and cybersecurity consulting business. And I want to coach and mentor the future generation. That's like a passion of mine. I feel like I'm in this position to give back. And so it just energizes me to bring up the next generation. So I wanted to help them break in and show them that they can do it too. So I do that on the side. And that's just something that I just think it's a need for that because there's not a lot of people that are doing that. And when I needed it at the time, there was nobody I can look to. So I'm trying to be that solution for them.
Wow, wow. Can you talk about the threat that's out there that all these cybersecurity experts are needed to protect against?
Yes, I think the typical they're after your data, they're after your personal information, and that can financially affect you. If they get your credit card information or even your sensitive healthcare information, that can be devastating. That can ruin your reputation. So you need a minimum of like antivirus software, VPNs, and firewalls, and you just need to protect and password protect your information because those hackers are working day and night, and they will try to get it at all costs. So you got to stay on guard. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here to protect people because they don't know. They're on social media and people are just social engineering you. And you just need to be aware and on guard at all times because they're working day and night.
What does social engineering you mean?
So, like for instance, they're like an imposter. They act like they're your friend, or they're calling to get your social security number, and they're acting like they're from the health department. They're acting like they're a bill collector. They're acting like they're from a utility company, and they're just trying to get your social security number, your card information, so they can use it in the underground to buy things with your financial information. So they're looking for all kind of ways to get your sensitive information and use it for their financial gain. And there's a big underground criminal activity that's happening. And if you don't protect it and you're not aware, then you'll be a victim.
Wow, 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 wow. So this is the work that you do and the individuals who become cybersecurity experts help individual people, but also governments, companies, organizations, right? Can you talk,
Right.
Can you talk
Right. Like
about,
these businesses have intellectual property that they worked years and years for. And like the Chinese hackers or people from Russia and nation states want to get that sensitive information so they can sell it on the open market and get all your trade secrets. So there's people that are like taking auto designs and taking contracts and doing things in other countries because they have those trade secrets and they're selling it in the black market. So you have to protect your sensitive information because this is money and time that you've invested. So you got to protect it.
mm, powerful. So can you talk about some of the work you've done with the Obama administration and healthcare? What does that involve? What do you do?
Yes, well, when he was elected, he asked us to come together and develop the Affordable Care Act. So we brainstormed, and I was responsible for putting the preventative measures in there, like protecting people that need help with mental health, people who need mammograms, people who need cancer screenings. We wanted the health plan to cover preventive measures because that's where you actually solve the problem on the front end. So we collaborated, and he worked with the health plans, he worked with the hospitals, and he worked with the citizens like me to develop that law, and we made it official, and it's still in existence today. And a lot of people appreciate those preventive measures that we put in there because the health plans can't deny you.
Oh, fascinating. Wow. So what is it that you enjoy about this work?
I just think it's like I love to give of service, and I just think it's my call to action to help protect people's sensitive information. I mean, I just think if it's healthcare data, if it's financial data, that can ruin your life if somebody has access to it. So I just want to be that barrier and share my security awareness and education and coach the future cybersecurity professionals so we have more people out here protecting us around the globe.
Oh, wow. Wow. So are you serving as a mentor to people right now?
Yes, yes. I just got a real rave review on my book. I mentored one gentleman, and he said, "You put everything in here. Now I feel like I have everything I need to break into the field." So, and one person said, "You put the house and the kitchen sink in the book. You put everything in there." So I didn't want to have no excuse. I mean, if you needed money for funding, for education, if you needed to know what job descriptions to fill out and what to look for, if you all that stuff is in there. So it's like a memoir and a career guide, and I kind of coach you through it and tell you how I navigated my 20 years of experience, because you may need to know negotiation skills. You may need to know what are the best character traits to have, and the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. I cover like different career tips and coach you throughout and give you my backstory. So it's all in there.
Oh, so you tell your story in the book too.
Yes.
You have a powerful testimony, and I love the motivation. So what are some of the challenges in the field? Is it long hours? Is it hard work?
Yes, yes. Well, like I said, hackers are working day and night. So, like for instance, if you're an incident response person, you might get called in the middle of the night about a data breach and have to get on the phone call and try to get in and protect and safeguard the information. So you may be on call in certain situations, but there's 52 different career tracks that you can go after. Like I'm mainly doing the policy and governance part of it. So there's the policy and governance part of it. There's the incident response. There's curriculum developer. There's a wide array of ways you can break in. And a lot of people think it's just a hacker, and it's more to it than that. It's 52 careers that you can go after. And if it's something that you think that's not a good fit, try the network operator or try a different role. But there's different ways you can break in, and you can work your way up and see what you like.
Mm-hmm. So what's the top of the field if you're a cybersecurity expert? What would the top job be?
It would be chief information security officer. So they would be charged with the strategy and building the infrastructure and planning and business continuity and incident response. They'll do the overall program, and they'll manage the group of the 52 different roles, but they'll be the CISO on top managing the whole program. So that's the top level.
I love it. I love it. So Sakinah, where can people find your book?
They can go to sakinahtanzil.com, and I'm on Amazon, I'm on Ingham Spark, I'm on Square. So anywhere that books are sold, sakinahtanzil.com.
I will put the link in the description box below so anybody can order the book, as well as get in touch with you if they want to work with you as a consultant or a coach.
That will be great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're such a powerhouse of information. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So Sakinah, can you tell us, how safe are we on our phones and on our social media?
Well, you actually need to have layers of security. So you need to have antivirus. You need to have a private network that has a barrier in between you and the internet. You need to password protect, and you need to have like a PIN number that you actually have a code to before you break on social media. So you need layers of security. You need codes, passcodes, you need antivirus, all the layers, so it'll be harder for them to break through. So you need those layers of security, and we call it defense in depth. So the layers that you have is harder to break through. So that's the best way.
Okay, because a lot of people do everything on their phone. They do their banking, they pay their bills, they, have private conversations in text. So it's when you start to think about the vulnerability of that, it's really chilling.
Yes, yes. And even if you think you haven't been hacked, you probably have. So it's bound to happen. So as long as you have that layer of security, it'll be a minimum attack, but you'll be prepared. So we always have to be aware and on point. And that's just definitely the nature of the beast.
Wow, wow, wow. So earlier last year, there was a big report about how so many systems had been breached in the government and companies. So what's the recourse for that? Like once something is breached, is there any way to retrieve or find who did it?
Well, it comes with like having a preventive measure in place. So you need to back up your systems, whether you're writing a book or you have trade secrets, you need to back up your information on a hard drive, just up in the cloud, somewhere where you can save your data, because once they break in, they steal the information and it's just lost. So you got to have a way to retrieve and to get the information back. So that's one of the layers of it, just having a backup system. So it's different ways you can do it, and sometimes you can't avoid it. So you just have to be on guard all the time.
Wow. So what are some of the questions that you get from people who contact you because they want to get in the field?
They want to know what career track, what experience do I need? What education level do I need? What certification to start out with? So I basically tell them the entry level foundational certifications are the good ones to go after. And if you at least get a 2-year degree and work your way up to a 4-year degree, then there's job security in that, because I'm an advocate for education. And so the opportunities will be endless if you're well prepared and highly educated. Because they typically, when you're in the field, you're dealing with sensitive information and they want you to have high quality standards. So you definitely want to make sure you're qualified, because they're given the keys to the kingdom. So you just got to make sure that you know what you're doing, and they want to make sure you do. So
right. It seems, what kind of clearances do you have to go through to get this type of job? It seems like the companies would have to check the cybersecurity expert out, because they're going to, like you said, hold the key and know the secrets.
Yeah, you typically are going to go through a background check. So be careful what you do online and what things you do. You got to have a clear record. You do. And I have a partnership with the FBI where I have a sensitive security clearance, and they are sharing information that the public doesn't even know. So you're even getting more sensitive information. So they have to make sure you're on par.
Wow, that's fascinating. It's just like opens up such a whole world that's sort of hidden but in plain view.
Yes. And I think the person that will be successful in this role is someone that continuously learns and stay curious, because this field changes every 3 to 4 years, and you have to stay on top of the new technologies and new artificial intelligence and all these different terms that are coming out. You have to be constantly learning and staying on point, or you'll get left behind. So that's what I advocate for my mentees, is just continuously learn, go to webinars, go to conferences, keep those certifications up to date, because you don't want them to lapse, because you lose some of your credentials at that point. So stay on top of those too. So that's what I advocate for.
So are there specialties within the field that people can pursue?
Yes, you can be a computer operator, you can be an incident response person, you can be policy and governance. You can be a privacy professional. There's a wide range of it. And, you know, technology is everywhere you go. So, I mean, any way you're going to be affected by technology. So it's good to understand the foundational skills of it, so you know how to protect yourself and your company. So there's all kind of ways that you break in, and you'll be using the technology. So you'll have a touch point to it. But if you want to go dig deep into the field, get my book, and I cover all the 52 roles to break in.
I love it. Do you do any kind of webinars or training sessions that online where people can learn, like maybe take a class from you?
Yes, I do have my own personal course, online course, that when you call me, you can register into the course. Or I have one-on-one sessions, or I have my mentoring mastermind. I have a podcast. So I have different ways that you can reach me too. So you can just go to sakinahtanzil.com and schedule a 15-minute free session with me.
Is your podcast about the book?
Yes.
Wow, excellent. Wonderful.
And I interview some of my mentees, and they ask me certain questions. So it's like a conversation. One of the conversations, there was a guy, he didn't know how to break into the field, and he had no experience. And so he just wanted to find out ways, what certifications I should get. So he thought that it was impossible, but when he learned my story and he seen somebody like me, he knew he could do it. So we have just like intimate conversations on the podcast, but yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. So you went to Henry Ford Community College. Is this a program that's offered at most community colleges or colleges and universities that are four-year programs as well?
Well, most of the programs, Henry Ford was one of the first, because that was the late 90s when they started out, but now they're popping up everywhere. And so I went to Baker College and got my information technology security bachelor's in 2010. And then I went on to University of Detroit Mercy to get 2 masters in information assurance and software management. So so I continued, I continue my educational track. And so it's good to get as high. I mean, you don't have to get a PhD, but I just think that this field is so fascinating. And the higher you go up, the deeper the conversation and the skills and the foundations get. So I just advocate for more education.
Oh, you know, this show is called Boss Up Goddess, and you've done that and you're doing that, Sakinah. It's amazing. I'm so proud of you. So now let's talk. You're welcome. Let's talk about writing the book. Can you talk about that?
Yes. I actually met you in 2019 on my birthday. I had a session with you and your sister, and I was like, I want to write a book and I need somebody to help keep me accountable. So I joined your writing club 3 to 5 times a week. And I wrote, it took me about 18 months to finish the book. And so it took a lot of self-discipline, because
Sakinah, the screen froze. Are you there?
Are you there?
Sakinah?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, the screen froze. I'm so glad you're back.
Yes.
So, okay. So you said it took a lot of discipline and then it froze. I guess everybody needs to hear it takes discipline to write a book.
Yes, it does, because the majority of my book was written through the pandemic. So all of 2020, I was writing my book, and it did feel a little challenging because so I just got up early in the morning and meditated and set the tone of the day. And my most creative time is early in the morning. So I spent 1 or 2 hours just sitting and just jotting down, writing continuously, flowing and writing. And I got into a cadence, and I ended up finishing the book in 18 months. So on Martin Luther King Day, 2021, I released my book. I self-published it. and the rest is history.
Wow, that's amazing. And I just want to tell anybody who's watching, you're seeing what a boss Sakinah is, but she showed up diligently 3 times a week at least to write her book. And she would always talk about how she signed up with our writing club to stay accountable. So it's like when you have other people in on it, you make the investment to participate in a program, you're going to show up. So she's a perfect example of making a commitment, investing in yourself, and getting it done. And now she has a physical book to show for it. She's out here teaching. She's showing people the way that nobody was able to show her. And this is just such a remarkable story, Sakinah. Congratulations on this tremendous triumph.
Thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for giving me this platform. And this was a labor of love project. I put my all into it, and I just want to share it with the world. So I hope someone benefits from reading this book.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. Your mission is so powerful. So anybody out there, if you'd like to get a 2-year associate's degree and start making 75K, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Sakinah, is there a lot of math and science required for this type of degree?
Well, it is a little bit of science, technology, engineering, and math all combined. So you, as high as knowing statistics and math is probably good enough. So yes, math is involved. Of course, the T, technology is involved, science. The degree that you get in is based on science and the hypothesis and problem solving and critical thinking. So it's all of that. It fits right into STEM, and we know STEM are the jobs of the future. So in technology and cybersecurity, you're right there in it.
Wow, that's amazing. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the field or what people need to know if they're considering a career in cybersecurity?
I just think that it's so many people that need these services. So as simple as volunteering at a association or one of these small businesses that need some help protecting their systems. There's ways that you can break into the field. You just have to want to do it. You have to have a passion for it. And it can get stressful. It can, I'm not gonna lie. But if it just feels like a call of duty for me, and you have to love what you do. And I think it's so rewarding. And so sometimes the stress is, it's bearable because I know I'm protecting America, I'm protecting the globe. I feel like I'm just doing my part in the world.
Oh, I love it. What a grand calling. That is beautiful. So Sakinah, what does it mean to you to boss up, goddess?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, my mom was an example of it. So, I mean, she was the first boss up. So I learned from her. If she can do it, I can do it. She instilled in me that anything is possible, get an education, just be open-minded and never give up. So learning from her and seeing her get through all her challenges, she was my first example. So I'm just living that dream today.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That is wonderful. Mothers rule the world. That is such a wonderful tribute. Thank you. Excellent, Sakinah. I am so very proud of you, honored to know you, just celebrate you as an example of someone making a decision and going for it on so many levels. You are the tremendous role model that so many people need and that you didn't have. So congratulations on this. I have chills. It's amazing, amazing. I hope you tell your story far and wide and influence people to enter this field and really make a positive, powerful difference in the world.
Yes, thank you so much again for this opportunity. Go and get my book. It's a labor of love and you'll learn a lot. I'll put it all in there.
Excellent. And you have a great story for people who aren't even interested in the field, just hearing what motivated you, what prodded you to just do it. The Y2K thing there was so much hype. Oh my gosh. Everybody was like, is the world going to end? It was so funny. I was actually doing like survivalist stuff, accumulating water and canned foods and batteries and stuff.
Yes.
It was really scary.
Yes, it was. Yes, and it took a lot of money and a lot of effort. It was a global effort to solve the problem too. So I was right there like, okay, this is my call. This is my call. It's time to go and help. So that's what I
love
did.
that. Is so cool. Thank you. Thank you for being an amazing example for all of us, Sakinah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you all of you for joining us tonight, where you got to meet Sakinah Tanzil, author of Breaking the Cyber Code, a game changer that prepares our workforce and secures the future. Please go to her website, check it out, learn all about the services she provides that perhaps could help you embark on a whole new career that really will help fill that void of so many people who are needed in these roles for companies, governments, and organizations. So thank you for watching. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins. And remember, boss up, goddess. You have the power. I'll see you next time.